Assalamu alaikum all. Hope you all are fine, enjoying sound health and being best in your life and in the others. Right. Today we are going to talk about what are the modules, what are the types of the modules, how we use them, why we use them, what are the JSON packages, and what is the prompting library and why we use them. So first of all, what is the module? Any JavaScript file can be regarded as a module if it is exporting some function that is being imported and used in any other JavaScript file, right? So I hope a module is very clear. I will just go through this later. Okay, why do we need modules? First of all, let's consider you are working on a very complex project with many other contributors, and there are very chances that accidentally you or the any other contributors override any variable. Then this code won't run, and it would create hell for you guys to identify the error. So initially this problem was used to solve by the technique called immediately invoked function expression, and now this problem is tackled by the modules. So what is this IIFE? Well, I will just go through it. In our code I have this folder. I will open code here. So you can see that I have a function here and I immediately calling it here, and I have an index file in which I am calling this JavaScript file. So what would happen if I open this in browser? So you can see that the function is immediately called here. So that is the basic idea of IIFE that was used initially before this module technique, right? And nowadays we use modules. We have two type of modules that are JS modules and the ES modules. JS modules are imported or called by required function, and ES modules are imported or called by import syntax. We'll see them one by one. First of all, let's see JS modules, and we'll also learn the difference between them and their advantages and disadvantages. So okay, here we have a file that is js module.js, right? We have a function in here and we are exporting this function. So the syntax is module.exports is equal to the function. If we have a multiple function that we want to export, we would put this bracket here and then we can add multiple functions here, but we have only one function here, so we don't need these brackets here, right? So and in app.js we want to import this module. So now we would use this require function here, and in the brackets we would put the name of the file. And if I run this node app.js, so you can see that it's working fine. We have input 2 and the function added plus 2 in it, right? So this is the basic idea of a JS module. Now we have ES module. Now here is very important thing. While defining ES modules, the file extension must be mjs, right? So we have mjs file extension. In this file I have a function that I want to import. In the JS modules we were importing like this, right? But in ES module we export like this, and in app.js I wanna import it, and the syntax of importing is import function name from file name, right? And I can now run this code, and here is the error. It says that can't use import statement outside the module. What it is saying that this app file must also be the module type like mjs file. Now I would run this. So you can see that it's working fine. Now there are two ways to define this module type file. First is use extension mjs. If you don't want to use that, here comes the purpose of json packages. Actually json packages provides the description of the file. So I would open command prompt here and I would write. So this is basically the syntax of creating a json package file. We'll just enter them. If you wanna see a detailed video on json packages, you can ping me out in the comment section. Okay, now our json package is created here, and you can also see in the file explorer, right? So what we would do now, we would just add here an other key value pair, that is type module. What is it saying? That this app.js file would have the type module. That's what we have added here, that can't use import statement outside a module. So we defined its type to be module, right? Now when we run this js file extension, you can see that it's working fine. So that's why we use package json here, that's why we use mjs file extensions. I hope that is very clear to you now. Okay, now we will see the difference between these two modules, that are js modules and es modules. First of all, a js module is synchronous, and it is es module is an asynchronous. Sorry, both are written synchronous, it is asynchronous. Okay, js modules, it is monkey patchable. What does it mean? It means that any function exported from it can't be swapped with the other function, right? It sometimes it's recommended, but most of the times it is not recommended, because again, if you are working on a complex project, you can accidentally swap it and it would create hell for you, right? And es modules, it are these are not monkey patchable. So js modules, it requires a require function that gives a runtime error, and es modules is imported by the import syntax, that is pass time error, that gives pass time error. So what is the difference between them? It's very important. Like require is a function, we don't know if we have any error, we can't give any idea, or we can get any idea. Like when it would we would run the code, then we will see the errors, but it's not the case in past time errors. It's a very a good point of es modules. And then js modules, it doesn't run on browser, while es modules can run both on node and the browser. So we can see that ES modules are preferred over the GS modules, and nowadays ES modules are used. I hope that modules are clear now. Now we would go to our prompt. So, okay, first of all, let's open command prompt here, and we'll just npm install prompt sync. So this is the basic syntax: npm install prompt sync. Prompt sync is our library that can help us to gain the user input. So it says add 3 packages from 3 contributors, right? Now you can see that our module is added here. We'll open this with our code. I will create a new file here, that's script.js. Okay, now we can use both type of approaches, that are the require function or the import type, to import this library into our file, but the you can see the preferred one or the encouraged one is the import technique. Import prompt sync from, what is it, prompt sync. right? And after this I will say const, I will define another variable, and its value is gonna be this function. All right, now I would simply define a new variable whose value would be the user input prompt. What is your name, right? And after this I'm gonna print it out, name, name, right? I hope it's very much clear to you. Sorry, name. Okay, we would run this in our terminal, new terminal, node script.js. So here we have error. It says that import can't work outside the module, so we must have this as mjs file, right? And now we would run this mjs file. We have another error here. Let me see. Oh, sorry, it must be prompt, right? What is your name? My name is Lofi Bits, and you can see that it has printed Lofi Bits. So I hope that everything is very much clear to you now. If you have any questions, you can ping me down